Very good, very good. Wow.
Mm,
Very good. Well done. Well done. Lovely. I like that.
mm.
Next
Thank you.
question, Miss Sidra. Pay attention. Process and track, guarda-vetting, references, and pre-employment checks. How much you are familiar with process and track, guarda-vetting, references, and pre-employment checks.
Mm. Yeah, I am also familiar with this because in our home country there is also the process. If we screen any employee and then we select that employee, then the process will start. Uh, we take their previous job experiences from the past 5 years. Either he was working or not, and whatever the referrals he given over there. So we send the mail and other things. Either that employee was working or not, or also we check the criminal record of the employee with the even in my home country there is some according to province there are some sectors or some areas that we have different station police stations or something, so we send the mail to them either there is any criminal record or not, or even we said to employee to provide a proper criminal record certificate. So that will be given from the home city of the employee, if he has not any criminal record that is mentioned on the letter, so we can easily do garda vetting. But even in Ireland, one of my experience over there, so they ask about previous 5 years or 10 years experience, and then the garda or take all the addresses and previous job addresses and names and referrals numbers. So maybe they call to them or send email to them. Even I was working for the Dublin airport, they asked the previous 5 years history, and they call even in my professional job, okay, either she was working over there, and they also take a letter from me to either have any criminal record or not.
Wow, very good.
Yes.
Very
Mm,
good, very good. Super, well done.
mm,
Miss Sidra, next question. Sorry. Prepare contracts
mm,
and onboarding packs.
mm.
How much you are familiar with that?
Yeah, I am familiar because after selecting the employee and when we confirm that we are hiring that employee on that date, so we have to give them an appointment letter and other documents. We have to provide the employee, and also we have to take one copy with our company for the employee record. So I'm familiar with all this paperwork. And secondly, there are some HRIS software where we have to add all the documentation, because now even in my home country company there is the HR softwares that easily prepare all these contracts, and even automatically they send on the employees portal, and also we can manage digital files for the employees. So I'm pretty familiar with this task.
Very good. Wow. Very
Mm.
good. You are pretty much familiar with these tasks. Is that right?
Yeah.
Very good, Miss Sidra. Next question. Sidra, coordinate staff induction. Coordination of the staff induction. Okay, one induction for the staff. You need to do the coordination. Number two,
Mm.
including children first. And number three, lastly, safeguarding training.
Okay.
How much you are familiar with these responsibilities?
Okay. Yeah, also because staff induction is also the task in the human resources. So in
Mm.
staff induction it's mean how you can manage the new employee, how you manage their onboarding system before joining the date, Like if you hire any employee, and that new employee, so before the joining date, he must have um, access to his system, and also his email ID already created, and all the system must be over system or laptop must be on his desk. Or even it's a worker's job or escader job, you for the workers, you have the mobile applications and other things, and attendance records. So when he joined the company, you have all the mandatory duties completed, so you can easily track the employee record, and also you can coordinate with the employee for the mandatory information whatever you needed.
Wow. Very
Mm,
good. Super. Well done. I love that.
mm.
Thank you. Next question, Sidra. Sidra, how much you are familiar with um, setup, update, and then audit staff files? Number one, setup, update, and number three, audit staff files in line with TUSLA. Remember TUSLA, responsible for, the rights of the children, the country. It's very necessary you know this information, okay? Set up, update, and audit staff files in line with TUSLA and organizational requirements. How much you are familiar with this responsibility here?
Yeah, because even we hire any employee, but after 1 2 years, maybe he is promoted, or maybe at the time of the appointment he is a single employee, but then he married or something, he has a family, or maybe he has children. So we update all the file according to his promotions, according to his family detail, for the insurance and other things. So this is a procedure of HR services. We have to maintain the employees files, and every year when he audit the file, he must be we know when we audit the files, he must know that any document is not missing from the file. And secondly, every country has some rules and regulations and policies. Like in Ireland, there is a TUSLA and organizational requirement. So when we audit the files, we must check it either it's according to the laws and policies of that country, and we have the all the documentations according to the laws and regulations which are provided by the company.
Wow.
Hmm.
Super. Very good, Miss Sidra. Very good. Miss
Thank you.
Sidra, next question. Ensure, pay attention, okay? Ensure all staff records are complete, accurate, and then stored securely in line with G, okay? GDPR. This
Okay.
is the European regulations for data protection. Okay,
Hmm.
it's G for Jerry or getaway. Okay, D for data or data. P
Protection.
for property. R for results. This is the body responsible to regulate the data protection in Europe. I know maybe you know this information, okay? Let me
Yeah.
know how much you are familiar with this one more time. Ensure all staff records are complete, accurate, and then stored, okay? Stored securely in line with the data protection, okay? Let me
Yes.
know. Try to be very clear. It's much as you can. Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, because every country has its own body for data protection. So according to the Ireland European law GDPR. So every company, even whatever the staff they have, they share with that body accurate and complete record list with them. So there must be an accurate and complete record that body have for each company employees.
Mm, got it. Yeah, super, very good. Okay, but how much you are familiar with the data protection in the country? Because look, this data protection, it's for Europe. You know, it's Europe. It's for Europe as well, right? It's for the European countries. How much you are familiar with this data protection in the
I'm not
companies? In
so.
the
I'm not.
companies.
For this, I am not so much familiar with this data protection um, audit, but in my academic point of view, when I was analyzing the data in my business analytics degree, so we mostly took the data from the GDPR authority, so that are the accurate and relevant data. Even I was working on the labor forecasting on my final thesis, but I put the data set from the GDPR authority because that are the accurate and complete data of that company.
No problem. That's no problem. Yeah, but it's very necessary,
Mm.
you know, this information very well because the
Mm.
data protection, you know,
Mm.
throughout this organization, this body, you know, this organization, GDPR, it's responsible to coordinate management, to create and provide all the data protection regulations across the country and also Europe. This is for the data protection in Europe as well. It's very necessary if you can be you can become in the future very soon more familiar with because the companies they use this to store CV of the candidates, store, for example, emails, cover
Mm.
letters. There is one time in the companies that they store this data for the candidates for a few months. For
Okay.
example, the companies will not stay with the CVs, cover letters for forever. It's better you know how many months or years exactly the companies in the country they stay. For example, they allocate, they stay with this informations for the candidates because it's not of the companies that will store this for a lot of months. A few companies it's less, a few companies it's more. Okay, no problem at all. You can improve this later. Next question, Sidra, how much you are familiar with support, again, pay attention, support international audits and TUSLA inspections. International audits and TUSLA inspections.
But I think it's the internal audits. It's internally the company you audit.
Yes, support internal audits and TUSLA inspections. How much you are familiar with that?
Yeah, but mostly these audits and inspections are mostly the legal rules and safety and safeguard regulations according. This is regarding to the policies and regulations. Ke either our rules, regulations, policies are up to date according to the Tesla inspections. So they did also did internal audit and also check it with Tesla. Ke either our rules, regulations, and compliance according to that authority or not, or we need to update it.
Okay, very good, very good. Next question. Sidra, how much you are familiar with maintaining training records and the training metrics? For
Yeah.
example, yeah, 1 second, please. For example, organize training, track certifications, and flag upcoming expires. How much you are familiar with that in a nowadays in a daily basis working it's one human resources professional. Okay, Sidra.
Yeah, even in the quarterly basis or semi-annually basis, we check the performance of the employees, and then we group the employees all over there, in which sectors they need improvement, or sometimes we make the personalized training programs for their employees. After training, we maintain the training record in our CSV sheets,